It's Thursday, November the 3rd. We welcome all of you to Business Morning, live from Lagos, Nigeria's financial nerve center. I am Bosi Damafai. Now, this is a snapshot of what's making headlines in the local business world. Let's start with the pot of money from the former or immediate past Comptroller General of Nigeria's Customs Service. The Punch newspaper today reports that Abdullahi Dikko returned 1.040 billion naira in cash to the federal government. The immediate past head of the customs, he's been accused of diverting an estimated 40 billion naira while he was the head of the customs between August 2009 and when he was let off the office in August 2015. That's the news this morning being widely reported. It's on the front page of the Punch newspapers. Now, Dikko's, according to the newspaper reports, mentioned that he owned in Abuja, the country's political capital, worth estimated 2 billion naira, is also being seized. Okay, let's move on. What's the state of this Nigeria's State Oil Corporation called the NNPC, Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation? This is a statement of operations as at the end of August 2016. Take time to digest these numbers. The State Oil Corporation made a loss of 127.7 billion naira in the first 8 months of 2016. That's January till August. The loss in the month of August was lower than the month of July, what's what you call month-on-month basis, from 24.18 billion in July to 11.22 billion naira. So in actual figures, the loss reported by the NNPC was lower in the month of August than July. But if you look at the entire 2016, the first 8 months, that's was 127.7 billion. That's the headline loss that you saw there. Now, in terms of pipeline vandalization, the NNPC on Wednesday reported that this now down 28.94%. That's almost 30%. In actual figures, in July, the NNPC reported a total of 311 pipeline or oil facilities vandalization. In the month of August, that figure came down to 221 vandalization. Now, from the headquarter operations, the NNPC reported 76.3 billion naira so far in the year, first 8 months that was. From the 4 refineries, the NNPC says the loss was 48.69 billion naira in total. In the first 8 months of 2016, the NNPC says the sum of 1.14 trillion naira was spent. Nigeria, in the month of July, produced 1.65 million barrels of oil. That's the state of the NNPC for the first 8 months of 2016. Put that in mind. So, at the time we're talking about all of this, the country's borrowing, and the AFDB, that's the African Development Bank headquartered in Abidjan, the Ivorian financial capital, yesterday approved Nigeria's first tranche of $600 million budget support facility for the Buhari's administration. That's under the Dr. Akinwumi Adesina's table. That's coming at 1.2% interest rate. The total package for Nigeria, according to AFDB, when Adesina was in Nigeria, will be about $10 billion over a 10-year period. Various investments in various segments of the economy, oil and gas, electricity, housing, agri, infrastructure, that will be. But first, Nigeria has gotten its first $600 million in foreign loans from the AFDB. This money, this $600 million, is part of the debated $30 billion that is the pitching the executive against the legislature over the details that the upper legislative house wants to get from the executive branch. Now let's get a sense of other news making the headlines from our newsroom. Olumide Macaulay, my colleague, joins me now on the set. Good morning, Olumide Macaulay. It's all about money. So much money we're talking about, whether in cash or in whatever.
So I've heard.
So you've heard. So much money making rounds.
Yes,
what else is in the headlines?
Well, the elections, the River State, the Senate is talking about the senatorial elections in River State.
They want that concluded.
They want that held. So, and there's also a threat as to what they will do if that doesn't happen.
If that doesn't happen. Looks like a reverse of something. But let's just move on.
Hello and welcome to Headline News, and that's where we begin with the marching orders from Nigeria's upper legislative chamber to the Independent National Electoral Commission. The Senate has threatened to suspend sittings if INEC fails to conduct the rerun senatorial election in River State by December the 10th. Also at the Senate, the Petroleum Industry Bill has passed second reading in the upper legislative chamber. The PIB is the first out of the five-part bill which looks at the governance and institutional framework for the petroleum industry. Elsewhere, members of the Islamic Movement of Nigeria took to the streets of Abuja protesting the alleged detention of their leader Ibrahim El-Zakzaky. The protesters who gathered at the Federal Secretariat were dispersed by security operatives. They claim their leader has been in detention since December 2015 when some of his followers clashed with the military in Zaria, Kaduna State. The controversy trailing the $29.9 million loan request by the president is yet to die down, as some members of the House of Representatives are also questioning the rationale for the borrowing. Just as their counterparts in the Senate, some lawmakers in the House are demanding details of the loan from the executive. And outside the country, President Barack Obama says the fate of the U.S. Republic and the world is at stake if the Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump gets into the White House. According to him, Mr. Trump is a threat to hard-earned civil rights. Speaking at a campaign rally in North Carolina, President Obama urges Democrats of all ethnic backgrounds to get out and vote for Hillary Clinton on November the 8th. Those are the headlines. For details of these stories and more, please go to our website, channelstv.com. Business Morning continues with Bosun. Bosun, if you're American,
that's a warning.
Would you be voting Hillary or would you be voting